Stop scrolling right now, because what happened in Tampa, this was not a normal concert moment. Fearful face. Welcome back to JIKOOK Lover. And today, we're uncovering something that even the most dedicated fans of BTS were not ready for. Before the show even started, before a single note was heard, somehow, Park Jimin alone had already sent an entire city into chaos. How is that even possible? What really happened behind the scenes, and why did everything feel so different? Before we go any further, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right now, because what you're about to hear might completely change the way you see BTS concerts forever. This isn't just a show. This might be the beginning of something much bigger. Tampa was not ready. There's no other way to say it. What unfolded around Raymond James Stadium that day didn't feel like a typical pre-concert atmosphere. It didn't even feel like the usual overwhelming excitement that follows a global phenomenon like BTS. It felt different. From the early hours of the morning, something was already shifting. Fans, army from across the United States and beyond, began gathering far earlier than expected. Not in the hundreds, not even just in the thousands. The numbers grew at a pace that local organizers hadn't fully anticipated. Streets began filling with purple outfits, banners, light sticks, and voices. So many voices. And through all of it, one name echoed louder than the rest. Park Jimin. At first, it seemed like standard anticipation. After all, Jimin is known for his magnetic stage presence, his emotional connection with fans, and the almost unexplainable pull he seems to have on audiences. But as time passed, the energy didn't just build, it intensified in a way that felt almost uncontrollable. What made everything more unsettling was the timing. This was happening before the concert. There was no official appearance, no confirmed sighting, no performance. And yet, the reactions from fans suggested otherwise. It was as if something, or someone, had already triggered a wave that could no longer be contained. Then came the rumors. Whispers spread rapidly through the crowd. Someone claimed they saw a black vehicle entering a restricted area. Others insisted they caught a glimpse of a figure, slim, dressed in dark clothing, moving quickly under heavy security. Could it have been Jimin? No one could confirm it, but the effect was immediate. Within minutes, the atmosphere shifted from excitement to something far more intense. Screams erupted. Fans began pushing closer to barricades. Some were seen crying uncontrollably, others trembling, overwhelmed by the mere possibility that he was nearby. It didn't matter whether it was true. The belief alone was enough. Videos started surfacing online almost instantly. Clips showed waves of people moving as one, their voices rising into a deafening roar. In some footage, you could see security personnel attempting to manage the situation, but even they seemed caught off guard by how quickly things escalated. This wasn't just hype anymore. This was something deeper, something psychological, something emotional, and perhaps something that no one fully understood. Observers began to question what exactly was happening. Was this simply the result of long-awaited anticipation after months, possibly years of build-up? Or was there something uniquely powerful about this particular moment? Because even for BTS standards, this felt extreme. As the hours passed, the tension didn't fade. If anything, it grew stronger. More fans arrived. Social media amplified every rumor, every blurry clip, every unverified claim. The idea that Jimin was already inside, or somewhere near the stadium, spread like wildfire. And then another layer of mystery emerged. Reports began circulating that other members of BTS had also been spotted in the vicinity. No clear visuals, no official statements, just fragments of sightings and secondhand accounts. It raised a new question. Were they all already there? And if so, why the secrecy? Some fans speculated that this could be part of a larger plan, a carefully orchestrated build-up designed to heighten the emotional impact of the concert. Others believed it was entirely unintentional, that the sheer force of ARMY's presence had created a situation beyond anyone's control. But there were also those who felt something else, something harder to explain, a sense that the connection between BTS and their fans had reached a new level, one that blurred the line between anticipation and reaction, between presence and perception. As security tightened and barriers were reinforced, the crowd showed no signs of calming down. If anything, every restriction seemed to fuel the intensity even more. Fans didn't leave. They stayed. They waited. They watched every movement, every shadow, every possible sign. Because at that point, it wasn't just about a concert anymore. It was about being part of a moment that felt historic, unpredictable, and slightly out of control. When the gates finally opened and the concert officially began, many described the energy inside the stadium as something they had never experienced before. Louder, heavier, more emotional, as if everything that had happened outside had carried into the performance itself. And yet, even after the music started, the questions didn't stop. What actually happened before the show? Was Jimin really there during those early moments? Did the members intentionally arrive in secret? Or was this entire situation a spontaneous explosion of emotion that no one, not even BTS, could have predicted? To this day, there has been no clear explanation, no detailed statement, no confirmation, only theories, only memories, only the undeniable fact that, somehow, before a single song was performed, one name, Park Jimin, was enough to send an entire city into chaos. And that leads to a question that fans around the world are still debating. If this is what happens before the concert even begins, then what, exactly, is BTS truly capable of triggering next? And more importantly, is this still just about music? Or are we witnessing something much bigger happening between BTS and ARMY worldwide? The deeper you look into what happened that day, the harder it becomes to explain it as just another pre-concert frenzy. Because Tampa didn't simply react, it transformed. Local residents, who had no prior connection to BTS, began noticing something unusual hours before the official event. Cafes near Raymond James Stadium reported lines stretching far beyond their usual capacity. Rideshare drivers described non-stop drop-offs of fans who seemed both excited and strangely tense. Not nervous in a negative way, but charged, like they were anticipating something unpredictable. Almost like they knew something was about to happen. And then there were the sounds. Even before noon, faint chants started echoing through the surrounding areas. At first, it was scattered, small groups calling out names, singing fragments of songs. But gradually, those voices began to synchronize. Louder, sharper, more unified. Jimin, Jimin, Jimin. The name carried through the air like a signal. And what made it even more chilling was how quickly it spread. One group would start, and within seconds, dozens, then hundreds, would join in. Some fans later admitted they didn't even realize they had started chanting. It just happened, as if they were being pulled into a shared moment without fully understanding why. By mid-afternoon, the situation had clearly surpassed expectations. Security presence increased, but even that seemed reactive rather than preventive. Staff members exchanged concerned looks. Communication devices buzzed constantly. There was a sense that something was unfolding faster than anyone had prepared for. And still no official word, no confirmation, nothing from the organizers, nothing from the members, which only made everything feel more intense. Inside fan communities online, theories multiplied at an alarming speed. Some claimed that Park Jimin had arrived earlier than scheduled to rehearse in private. Others insisted that all 7 members of BTS were already inside the stadium, preparing something completely unexpected. A surprise stage, a new concept, or something even bigger. The lack of clarity didn't calm fans, it fueled them. One viral clip showed a group of ARMY members suddenly screaming and rushing toward a side entrance after a brief movement behind a tinted vehicle window. The video was shaky, chaotic, filled with overlapping voices and raw emotion. "Did you see that? That was him. No, it can't be. Wait. And then just screams. Endless screams. Another clip captured a different kind of moment, quieter, but just as powerful. A fan standing still, tears streaming down her face, whispering Jimin's name over and over again as if trying to ground herself in reality. Moments like these began to define the day. Not the concert itself, not the official schedule, but the emotional explosion that happened before any of it even began. What's even more intriguing is how some attendees later described a shift in atmosphere at a very specific time. Several fans, completely unrelated to each other, mentioned feeling a sudden surge of energy, an almost electric wave, passing through the crowd. No visual trigger, no audible cue, just a feeling. Could it have been coincidence? Or was it connected to something happening behind the scenes at that exact moment? Speculation only deepened when a few insiders, unverified, but widely discussed, hinted that last-minute adjustments had been made to the show's structure. Nothing drastic, but enough to suggest that something about that day was not going exactly as originally planned. And if that's true, then what caused the change? Was it the crowd? Was it the energy? Or was it something the members themselves decided in response to what they were witnessing? When the gates finally opened, the release of tension was almost explosive. Fans surged forward, not in panic, but in overwhelming anticipation. Many later said that walking into the stadium felt surreal, like stepping into a completely different reality. Inside, the atmosphere didn't reset. It amplified. Every cheer felt louder. Every light stick seemed brighter. Every heartbeat faster. And when the first moments of the concert began, all eyes were searching for one person, Park Jimin, because by then, whether confirmed or not, the entire narrative of the night had already centered around him. Some claimed that when he finally appeared, there was a brief pause, a split second where the crowd seemed to hold its breath collectively before erupting into one of the loudest reactions ever recorded at a BTS event. Was it just perception? Or did something about that moment feel different? More personal? More intense? More real? Even those who had attended multiple BTS concerts before admitted that this one stood apart. Not just because of the scale, but because of the emotional buildup that preceded it. It wasn't just excitement anymore. It was release. A release of anticipation, speculation, tension, and something else, something harder to define. Connection. But here's where the mystery deepens. In the days that followed, despite the massive attention and countless viral clips, there was still no clear explanation from official sources. No breakdown of what happened before the concert. No acknowledgement of the unusual crowd behavior. No confirmation of early arrivals or secret movements. Silence. And sometimes, silence says more than words ever could, because it leaves space. Space for theories. Space for imagination. Space for fans to piece together their own version of events. Some believe it was all organic, a natural result of global anticipation reaching its peak. Others are convinced that there was a deliberate element behind it, a carefully planned build-up designed to create exactly this kind of reaction. But then there's a third perspective, one that doesn't fully accept either explanation. What if this wasn't planned, but also not entirely accidental? What if what happened in Tampa was the result of something evolving in real time? A relationship between artist and audience that has grown so powerful, so immediate, that even the smallest signal can trigger something massive. Because if the mere possibility of Park Jimin being nearby was enough to send waves through an entire city, then what does that say about the level of influence at play here? And more importantly, what happens next? As the tour continues, all eyes are now on the next city. Fans are watching more closely, expecting more, questioning more, waiting to see if Tampa was a one-time phenomenon or the beginning of a pattern. A pattern that could redefine what a concert experience really is. So now the question becomes impossible to ignore. Was Tampa just an unforgettable night? Or was it the first sign that something far bigger is unfolding between BTS and ARMY? Something no one is fully ready to understand yet? Purple Heart,